All right, folks. So in this section, what I want to talk about is the automation, which is probably the most important part about marketing on LinkedIn and exactly what the LinkedIn automation looks like. So this is kind of a mix of a demo as well as kind of what you should be doing if you're not using a company like mine to do your automation, what the activities would look like for you. So something that's really important to talk about in the tool, because I've had this question, can I target buyers? Can I target sellers? I've had brokers say, can I target realtors who I want to recruit? The answer to all of those is yes. It doesn't matter who or what your target market is. That what matters is that you're using a tool that can do all of those things, because we just come up with a target market and then we actively go after that target market. So I'm going to talk about Rebecca White. We've talked about Rebecca before. I'm just going to talk about Rebecca. So Rebecca is a San Francisco realtor, and she's focused on listings, and she's focused on vice president of marketing and sales, and vice president in general. We did a VP sales, VP marketing campaign earlier. So the first thing we do is we go to campaigns. And so let me just show you, she's VPs who are in San Francisco. Now, how is it that they're in San Francisco specifically? Well, we use Sales Navigator. I'll do another video on the value of Sales Navigator, right? But we have a tool called Sales Navigator. It's one of LinkedIn's tools. It's a paid service through LinkedIn, which is $79.99 a month, or you can do it for a year, and it's a little over $800 for the year. It comes out to like $64 a month. I suggest to all my clients, use Sales Navigator month to month until you are using my service and you like it and you know you're going to commit to this long term. Again, I don't have any long-term contracts. I don't believe in long-term contracts. But if you want to save some money on the LinkedIn side, I'd say do that after you've tested it for a while. So the first thing I do is we use Sales Navigator with the zip codes. This is the only tool you can use this in with LinkedIn. We find the zip codes where they're living, not where they work, but where they live. And we started with a small campaign of 332. Well, if you know anything about marketing, to get an acceptance rate, which means 53 people out of 332 connected, right? 53 connected with her, that's an acceptance rate, all right? The response rate, the way that I've done this isn't very accurate, but of the 53 that connected, 14 actually responded back. So those rates are considerably higher, all right? Now let's talk about what that means and what that looks like. So those are 332 vice presidents, right, who are living in San Francisco. So the next thing we do is once we identify who our target market is in the zip code that they're living, her farm area, we go and we create a model to drip out to them. The first thing we do is we have an invite, right? So I created the list of 332. I then put this invite, and your invite for whatever your target market is, can be whatever you want that invite to be. I send these out on a daily basis. Now, if you're doing your own LinkedIn marketing and you're not doing an automated tool, then you want to be sending out no more than 100 invites a day. You'll notice that I slowly ramp up. My tool ramps up, right? And then at the 50 mark, you can jump up to 100. But we send out 100 invites a day, right? And right now, 16% have connected. What the numbers are looking like is over the course of 3 months, about 21% total will connect. All right, so 100 invites a day with that message that you saw. Once somebody connects, this system, okay, I'll go back to campaigns and I'll show you exactly what you're getting. Once they connect, let's go here to modules. Actually, before I do that, let me show you. We are running this campaign for her 7 days a week, from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. In Silicon Valley and San Francisco, this works. If you're a market in the Midwest, this will not work. Monday through Friday is the only thing that would work. So I've done all the market research nationwide for realtors, and I found what works in certain markets and what doesn't work in other markets. All right, so now, if you notice, I have profile view set up and profile invites. LinkedIn research shows that if you are sending an invite to someone, you better view their profile first. So the system automatically views a profile, and then 3 to 4 seconds later, which is in human time, sends a profile invite out. You see these free in-mails? We go to campaigns and we look at, say, this campaign. You notice these open, 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 open. Those are open profiles, which means we can use a free in-mail tool feature that we have that LinkedIn doesn't charge you to use the in-mails. All right, in-mails have been highly effective for most of my clients, where they're getting business directly from free in-mails that they're sending out. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't show that an account is open. You have to be tied into LinkedIn's backend API to see that. All right, so let's go back to the campaigns. We'll go back here. We'll look at the modules. All right. Once someone says, yes, I'd like to connect with you, we then will run this sequence. And the way it works is one day after they connect, we send this message to them. 5 days after that, we send a second message. Right? And you notice she's taking them off site. That's a key for LinkedIn. You want to take people off the LinkedIn platform. You want to get them to YouTube. You want to get them to your website. You want to get them to Instagram. If you're using Instagram, you want to take them off platform. And here's the logic. And it makes perfect sense because I've seen the numbers. If they're on one platform, there's this level of engagement. If they're on a second platform, there's a significant, it's about a 60% higher chance they're going to pick up the phone and call you, shoot you an email, send you a text, get them off platform. Whatever you do in all of your LinkedIn messaging, you want to get them off platform. All right. The next thing is 3 days after that, we send them a third message, and this is the final message, right? Why? For VP level and above, if you're sending more than 3 messages, you're likely gonna piss them off or upset them. Okay, that's not the case for managers and below. What we found is managers and below, and directors can fall into that VP category, but managers and below, you can send them up to 4 messages. Now, here's the really interesting thing. If you send anything more than that 4th message, you have a 70% drop-off rate, which means they'll never get back to you. 70% of the time, they won't get back to you. Stop at 4 messages. I have built my system so that you can't add a 5th step. You stop at 4 messages. And I've found in a way that I'm protecting clients from themselves, because I know people who will just want to drip and drip and drip. And you've gotten drip campaigns before. Too much is too much. We all know that, right? So as a marketer and as a realtor, you need to understand your client base. I need to understand your client base. They don't want to get more than 4 messages. So we give them 4 messages. Now, here's the power of this system. Once they say, hey, John, hey, Mike, hey, Kelly, hey, Ashwina, hey, Rebecca, I'd like to connect with you, or yes, this sounds good, my system turns off, right? It stops. So this is something I built. And if you're used to using LinkedIn's system, you'll understand the value of this. LinkedIn's innate system is, it's archaic, to say the least. So you'll get messages after messages, the outgoing messages, the inbound messages, and the valuable messages get lost. So I built an inbox in here. And I'm not going to open up Rebecca's mail, but I built an inbox system here. So you can come here on a daily basis and see all the messages you got from people who are interested in talking to you. She has 43 people from this. Imagine if you had 43 interested folks who wanted to talk to you about real estate, right? One listing in Silicon Valley in San Francisco, one listing, minimum property in San Francisco is 1.2 to 1.4 million. Many are in the 3 million range. Imagine what one listing would do. And she's got 43 folks who are ready to have a conversation with her, right? So anyways, this is the back-end platform. This is what you're getting. This operates, if you choose it to, Monday through 7 days a week. You're getting 100 messages a day. You're average connecting with 15 to 20% of the people. You get all of their email addresses for email marketing campaigns. And what you also get is the ability to drive them off platform to another social media platform or your website, where you can continue the engagement process. If you're not using an automation tool, by the way, this is what this this looks like. She has had 1,033 profile views. She sent out 1,032 invites. She's had, in this campaign, right, she's had 303 sequences, and we haven't turned on InMails because I'm doing some A/B testing, and 50 people have replied to her, right? All for $300 a month. And then the $80 to LinkedIn for their Sales Navigator tool, right? One listing is what? A $20,000 commission. The ROI works out really well. And most of my clients are getting, and I'll give you the COVID timeframe numbers, the shelter in place numbers. They're getting 7 to 10 listings from this automated service. So if you're not using automation, send out, and you want to do this by hand and manually, that's fine. You need to send out 100 invites a day consistently. The key to LinkedIn and all marketing is consistency. If you're not doing this day in, day out consistently, you're not going to get the results. The reason Rebecca's getting the results and Ashley's getting the results and Tariq and some of these other clients are getting the results is because this system is doing it for them day in and day out, day in and day out. All right. So anyways, if you have any questions for me, if you have any further sharing that you would like to do, I would be more than happy to help you. LinkedIn listings is what I do. I love LinkedIn marketing, and I look forward to working with you and seeing you in the future. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.